everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Power of the Primes Deluxe Class Moonracer, the final set, or final figure in the Wave 2 Deluxes. And yes, you can see she is a Cybertronian car thing that is green. And she comes in this package. You know, render artwork in the bubble, of course. On the back you see more renders and play pattern and all that stuff. How will the joyful Autobot sharpshooter wield the power of the Primes? There you go. Basic stuff there. She also, of course, comes with her instructions as per usual. And her trading card. This one is an Alpha Trion trading card, and also, once again, really nice artwork, as per usual. And this one translates the Covenant of Primus for Cybertronian youth. Interesting thing, but sure, that's an interesting power. And of course, accessories, gun, prime armor, usual thing. So, yeah, like I said, she is a Cybertronian car of sorts. She's a very kind of pleasant seafoam green. That's what they call it. Yeah. So it's a car thing. It's a nice shade of green. It's got white here, of course, on the back. Translucent blue to kind of simulate windows of sorts, although you can see robot bits in there. Little Autobot logo right there, and also picked out a little white bit on the hood. Big old tires. Very large ones. And she's also very narrow. You can see that. She's a very narrow car. Kind of interesting that, how you can see that. It's just kind of, also yellow picked out for the front for the headlights. And on the back, you can kind of just, the back's kind of a mess, I'll be honest. You can just see the hands chilling out and everything. See, one of the things you're kind of supposed to do, they want you to do this, is they want you to take the prime armor and plug it into this little port right here. And I guess you get a jet booster of sorts, and that's hanging off the back of the car. Make it even longer. And of course, you could take the gun and plug it onto one of the side ports if you want. By the way, if you do that, make sure to brace it back here, because otherwise you're probably going to unpeg every stuff. But that's how it is. And it also can roll pretty well, as long as you don't have a surface like mine where stuff catches, but it rolls pretty well otherwise. If you just don't have a cloth surface like I have here, it'll roll pretty fine. But yeah, it's a nice little vehicle mode. Just the only problem is just the back end just kind of is a mess. But of course, because Deluxe Classic can also transform into limbs as well as a robot and car. Oh, by the way, I forgot about 2 Prime Master ports. Speaking of Prime Masters, forgot this part too. Of course, Prime Master, pop that out. Pop Alpha Trion in because, well, that's the one it came with, card with. There you go. Plugs in. And of course, that can become a gun if you want. And here, this one is actually pretty tight. Alpha Trion goes in there pretty tightly, so that's good. Menu transformation. We'll go ahead and start with, how about the leg mode? Yeah, let's go with the leg mode. So to get the leg mode, first thing you want to do is come back here and open up these side bits. And move the arms up. And then, see these side bits, there's these little tabs on them right here that go in these slots. There's actually kind of an extra little slot thing. And then, when in this mode, you want to take these little tabs right here. There's a little tab sticking out right there, and it goes between these little bits right here. So, line it up properly, and it should tab in just fine. Yep. There you go. Make sure to tab it in all the way. There you go. That's nice and solid. Same here. Tab it in all the way. And once you actually get tabbed in all the way, it's actually pretty solidly in there. It's not going to move too much. So, there you go there. Then you come down here, and you want to take the front end and split it down. And you want to actually curl it up, because there's 2 tabs right here. They'll go in those slots right there. You curl it up at this lower joint. And then line it up in such a way and that the tabs line up. And there you go. And while you do that, open this up, pull this down like that, close it back up, and then finally take a foot piece, plug it in. And that's leg mode. I'll actually say this, except for the hands just kind of hanging out up here. Yeah, except for the hands hanging out up here, it's actually a pretty good looking leg mode. Works well for if you want a thinner leg or something. Like say if you want to make a female combiner or something. But yeah, it actually works really well as a leg. The only thing is just these hands. You can just see the hands just chilling out there. I guess one way to possibly alleviate that is just kind of like stick this gun and maybe another gun from another figure in, just to hide the hands a little. You can do that. There's probably other things you can do. One great, I think, I don't know, third-party like Shapeways thing could possibly just put a little filler piece back here. That would actually probably help a lot. Just a little filler that's just over top of that. That's one way, I guess, to take care of it. And from here, it's actually pretty simple to get to arm mode as well. Yeah, unlike a lot of them, you don't actually like try to really transform it to robot mode a whole lot. So you kind of curl this back down a bit. You don't curl it all the way back, but you curl it back down, and you also take this, open it up, and close that back up. Curl that back down. Rotate this right here. Rotate it there, and pull the. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I forgot. Got to pull that up. Pull that down like that. Pull like that, and then you plug the hand in. Can't believe I forgot for combiner peg. But everyone knows that part anyway. It's not a huge deal. And there you go. That's actually the arm mode right there. So, you know, once again, curl up and everything. And yeah, it's a kind of, again, a pretty interesting arm mode just because the hinges, extra hinges down here kind of make it a little more fluid and makes it more solid rather than a lot of the thing where it's like you got two legs kind of making this arm piece and it looks a little weedy sometimes. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good arm mode. It actually works really well, and I think again, the only problem is these hands just sticking out up here. Except for those, I think it works really well in both arm and leg mode to the point where I'm kind of, you know, excited for the, was it Firestarter? Yeah. The next version of this mold they're going to release, so because I want to have both one in arm mode, one in leg mode, obviously. So there you go, they got that. And also this hand works, you know, blends in really well. Looks good. I also get a little bit of purple now. So it looks good at this, and you got multiple hinges for articulation. And to finish it off, you know, go to robot mode, close that back up. You want to rotate this back the way you had it. Well, now it's getting caught. I don't know why it was fine before, now it's getting caught. You rotate that back, keep this split down here. Then you take these pieces, open them up. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. There you go. You move this whole piece, you move this section forward like that. Move the arms out of the way and extend the hands. Then this piece right here, you rotate this entire piece right around like that, so the head's exposed, and you close it back up. Then you can rotate this piece around like there. Take this, and take the canopy here, move it up. There's little slots here that go in these over these tabs here, like that. And then because that's held into place, you can now also move those back all the way. And because it's held in place, you can rotate here at the lower waist, because yes, she has two waist joints. Straighten out the legs, split them apart, and extend the feet, like that. And also you might have to adjust the neck joint here to make it look a little better. And you have Moonracer in her robot mode, if I can get her to stand, which we'll get to that in a little bit. She doesn't want to stand very much, and that's a little annoying. Okay, got her standing. So yeah, Moonracer here, robot mode. It actually looks really good from the front here. Now you get, you know, exposure of this like purple color right here, you know, on the legs and on the abdomen. Autobot symbol right here. Little clear piece right here, which kind of, you know, it's already there in car mode, but it's more prominent there. It's kind of, I guess, a faux cockpit window now. Yeah, she looks pretty good. She looks kind of very reminiscent of our G1 cartoon appearance. She also got really big feet. The other thing, which this is the kind of the problem a lot of people have with this figure. This is a really big backpack, and as it stands, it right here is if I'm not holding it up, it will fall over. You can see that. Yeah, see. The big feet, in theory, kind of help with this, but because of positioning and stuff, it's kind of awkward at best. You kind of have to lean her forward a little bit to get her to stand really stand at all. Even then, she's really back heavy, I'm noticing, especially on this particular surface. Non-cloth surfaces will probably work a lot better, but still, it's kind of a little alarming that how big her backpack is. I mean, people have done things like, just move this down, back down like this, so it's kind of like a back skirt or something, which does kind of help with the weight distribution a little bit, but then it really limits articulation and stuff, and well, it's kind of a little frustrating that this massive backpack here. So it's a great design. The problem is to bulk her out for the alt mode to make it sure it's deluxe class. They had give her this massive backpack, and well, they're trying to keep the G1 design here, which is a little, frustrating. Of course, you can take her gun, plug it in there. The other thing is, these panels kind of come up over top of her arm, so you just this massive thing. I kind of wish these folded or something. And speaking of these panels right here, they stick out really far in front of the legs. I wish there was some sort of slider mechanism or something to slide these back or rotate them or something just to get them so they I don't mind the panels so much as a man's positioning the panels. If they were facing the other way or stuck out backwards instead of forward, I wouldn't mind. But then again, that would add more weight to the back, and that would make it a little weird. Her biggest problem is this backpack is so massive. Not only is it kind of not great looking, it's just adds a lot of weight to her back and makes her back heavy. You can also take the prime armor though, and no peg hole up here, but you got little slots on the sides, and there's little tabs on the thumbs, of the prime armor, and you just kind of wrap it around the torso, and that's where you plug the prime armor is on the sides here. You have to do it at a slight angle, but it's kind of tenuous, and it's kind of similar to Jazz's, but it holds, sort of. Just don't shake it if you put it on, but if you put it on, it'll hold somewhat okay. Just don't be surprised if it does just fall off on you. It's a very tenuous grasp at best, and no, it doesn't want to hold on at all. Yeah, but so prime armor doesn't look great anyway, so I don't really want it on there. But articulation wise, she's got a ball jointed head, so left and right, up and down, lots of movement here, lots of waggle, very articulated head. I like that. Also, she's got a little neck joint, so you can move it forward. You can move it forward and back. She got ball jointed shoulders, so forward, back limited by the backpack, outward all the way. She got ball jointed elbows, so did I say elbows or shoulders? I'm pretty sure I said shoulders. Yeah, she got ball jointed elbows. So outward is there, and the forward curl or bend about 90 degrees. Her wrists can move inwards if you want that. So you can do that if you want. She got she's got a waist joint. She's got two of them, but this one's locked in if you have this pegged in all the way. But she has a waist joint that moves just fine. Free spinning there, no hindrances. Ball jointed hips, so forward, back again, kind of limited by the backpack, but outward pretty far. About this far before sculpting gets in the way. She got a knee here, which 90 degrees, but then she's got this secondary joint, which is mostly for transformation stuff, but you can use it as a second knee, or second knee joint, so you do have double jointed knees, just kind of a little messy in front, but if you need that pose, you can get it. And her ankles are on little, let's see, is those ball joints? No, these are hinges. So they got a little bit of ankle tilt. Not a whole lot, I mean, you only have that much movement, but there is something. You also have a little forward and back as well. Because of the transformation, you have a little bit of forward and back, mostly forward, but you do have some ankle articulation, so that is useful for posing. The only thing that gets in the way, of course, the weight of the backpack, which there isn't a whole lot of weight back there, but I think it's mostly because the peg itself, the combiner peg itself, is what messes it up. And right. I forgot to mention this earlier, but the face, the yellow, I guess, thing right here on the forehead, and nicely picked out face. Again, the kind of the nice, I guess, light purplish color. This is more pinkish with blue eyes. I think he's even got a little lipstick. Yeah, it's like if you can get the feet positioned right, that's the most important part. If you can get the feet positioned correctly, she will stand. It's just a matter of getting those positioned correctly. Anyway, here she is with Alita 1, just because, well, makes sense for those two. I mean, they're part of the same combining team, and they're part of the same team back on G1. And you can see that, just how they stand next to each other. You know, Voyager, Deluxe, I suspect they'll look good together, all combined. I'm going to wait a little bit longer for other characters, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I feel guilty for that. But yeah, it's a pretty alright deluxe. It's just the biggest problem is just simply the backpack. If it wasn't for the backpack, I would highly recommend it if it wasn't for the backpack. It's great otherwise. And then the alt mode, the alt modes and limb modes, it's the hands are just kind of exposed in the back. They're just kind of there. There's not much you can do about it. That's only the hands and the backpack are really the only big issue I have with this figure. Everything else is great. It's a pretty interesting transformation, especially with the leg stuff is interesting. It's a pretty cool looking alt mode. It's a nice looking robot mode again, except for the backpack. It's just, yeah, the backpack is the biggest issue this character has here. It's not particularly, it juts out a lot, and it makes it hard to balance sometimes. So it's kind of like, if you can get past the backpack, I recommend it. If the backpack really bothers you that much, I would skip. It's just the backpack, really. So that's really the make or break, is the backpack. If you can get past it, I think it's a solid figure and well worth your time. But if that really bothers you a lot, skip it. It's going to frustrate you to no end if it really bothers you. So, yeah, that's it. I kind of got a little rambly there at the end. But that's the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting or informative. And hopefully I'll see you next time when I have another video review for you guys.